Ah! I am so sorry for all the bullshit that just took place. Oh my god. That was a lot. I don't know what was happening. YouTube was being weird, and then like I was getting all pissed. Do you like the little puppets I got going on? And watch, look at this. Boom, 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 bam. That's it. That's about all I had that I wanted to put here. All right. So welcome to the KGTAC panel. Let me make sure the music isn't too loud. I'm gonna turn it down just slightly. Let me test a few things real quick. Get this all situated. Give me 1 second. Uh-oh. The screen is dark? No! I have to restart! No! I'm so sorry! Watch this. Okay, watch. Whee! And then I'm like, oh, no. And then I was saying like, oh no, I don't know what's with YouTube and my streaming. And then I was like, bum, and then I had an imp, and you know, it's tough work doing what I do. All right, I'm awesome, and sometimes I can't do anything fucking correctly because I'm a fucking idiot. But whatever. Yeah, so welcome. Yeah, I got some music going on in the background, just some Homestuck music. And yeah, I'm going to just sort of answer some questions, you know. And hopefully you like it. Hopefully you enjoy. And yeah, right now I'm where am I? I'm like in a part of the convention, I guess. And I made a fort. Obviously not really, because it's a stream and this is fake. But okay, music's still loud. I'm so sorry. You know what? This is a whatever stream. It's cozy. It's campy. We can do whatever we want. All right. Someone said only at SAHCon. Yes, exactly. Okay, you can't see, but my my chat is right there, right to my right. So I'm moving my my thing there. All right, so hope you guys like that flash. And you know what? Let's just get to questions. You know, there's not much going on for this flash. I hope you guys are having a good time. Good time at the convention. I was messing around at the VR stuff. That was really fun. Yeah. All right. Let's get right into this. All right. First question. The name is so what I did was I had a thing where you could put your own name in, and then a question. Name was optional, obviously, but yeah. So name. No, screw you. I'm answering this question. How did you come up with the plot of KGTAC? Well, great question. I think I was watching. This was years ago. This must have been like 2015, and oh, okay. So yeah, 2015. I was watching Avatar: The Last Airbender, and there's this part where they were watching a play of themselves and they got stuff wrong, sort of. And I remember Zuko was like sitting down, and this kid dressed up as him, like, had the scar on the wrong side, except it wasn't on the wrong side in the play. So he goes up to Zuko and he's like, "Wow, nice Zuko costume, but you got the scar on the wrong side." And Zuko was like, "It's not on the wrong side!" And Yeah, when I was younger, I was like, that'd be hilarious if that happened in Homestuck. Yeah, that's it. That's pretty much it. That was pretty much the idea, and then it just went from there. Okay, next question. When do you expect KGTAC, which is Cargo's Convention shorthand, when do you expect KGTAC to conclude? And do you have any plans in that universe for future stories? Great question. No name provided. Um, it should conclude relatively soon. Um, the comic is almost done. To be fair, there's like a few more flashes to go. Some pretty good plot shit. Like I think we're right at the climax, and then yeah, pretty simple sailing from there. It is reasonable that you know I will be able to finish this, so don't ever worry that there's gonna be some sort of giant fucking hiatus, and then everyone's freaking out. You like that I did that? You like those explosion things? Okay, well, anyways, yeah, no, and story-wise, I have another comic I do. Well, okay, I don't do it right now, but it's called Homestuck. I guess the basic premise is Homestuck until proven otherwise, and that technically connects to KGTAC. One of the characters in KGTAC, Nan, actually writes that comic and has made it in the KGTAC universe. So it's connected. There's some weird stuff to do with one of the characters named Anna and how that's sort of connected to Nan's sister. Yeah, there's a lot of weird stuff. Hopefully I'll get around to it, to doing all that. I know for sure I'll finish KGTAC. But, you never know with the other stuff, They're big projects, and, at the end of the day, it's Homestuck. So, maybe in the future I'll be like, oh, I don't really want to fucking do Homestuck for the rest of my life, so I might, stop. And then I'll make I don't know, like a Google Doc that explains it in case anyone's interested. Yeah, I'm so sorry if this... this panel is, going places. All right. Let's get on to the next question. From Pax Probliscum. I think I recognize that name. When will you start drawing those damn squiddles properly? Oh, you son of a bitch. You know what was hilarious about that? And you might have actually known about this, which is why you asked the question. But when I first made that update where the squiddles, the squiddle appeared, the update ended with the close-up of the squiddle after Nan and Jade saw it and how it was big. And I saw on a fucking another server, someone was talking about the comic, and they were like, wow, the author couldn't draw squiddles properly, so he had to retcon their design. And I got really pissed off, and I was like, you know what? Fuck you, little bitch. So I made the next update where I drew a squiddle perfectly fine, and then I had them talk about it, and Karkat was talking about how Andrew Hussey had to retcon the squiddle design because he couldn't draw it right. And yeah, that didn't answer your question. The answer to it is never. I will never fucking draw it correctly. So yeah. Okay. Next question. Lazy Ghoster asks, "How did you create Jack and Stacy?" Now that's an interesting one because again, I like thinking about these things. I put a lot of weird thoughts into this story, but also you can't take it too seriously because it's fucking Homestuck. It's a Homestuck fan comic. So, sometimes you get people that take their shit like way too seriously, and you're just sort of like, okay. But it's still really fun to have cool stuff in it. And Jack and Stacy is a good example of that because they're sort of constructs of two different types of readers. Stacy's very much the, really loves a lot of it, and is interested in the lore, but would make a lot of fan art and a lot of shit like that. And Jack's very, very analytical about it. I guess you could say like a hyperfixation. And he loves studying like the spur mechanics and all that jazz. And he takes everything that's canon as fact. He wouldn't really have it any other way. So the idea is that they represent those types of readers, and Karkat being sort of immature and impulsive, and Dave being calm and collective. It's interesting to team them up sometimes. So if I want to, why did I use that eyebrow? Oopsies, whoopsie. Ah, ah! Okay. I'm sorry. So if I want to have a part of the story where it's really talking about people, it's showing the idea of people who read the story, love the canon stuff, and are calm and collected about it, I will team up Jack and Dave for some of it, and they'll talk about topics having to do with it. Same goes for if I team up Stacy and Karkat, is they become impulsive and emotional, which isn't bad. And they like a lot of the just, what they think would be better as a story, their own creations and stuff. So, Stacy's about to make some alchemy shit with a bunch of the cosplayers, so that should be fun. And yeah, I made them to represent readers, and they slowly start to become their own characters, and sometimes people get annoyed because, they're OCs. But yeah, it's very fun. Alright, let's see here. Next question. Did you ever think KGTAC, again, Karagosa Convention, did you ever think KGTAC would ever be as famous as it is right now, and do you think it could become even more famous later in its run? That is a very good, that's a very good question. So first off, it's not that famous. I mean, it's popular in the community. So I don't know. I didn't think. Okay, so I thought that it would get some recognition, because it has Karkat in the name, and literally the premise of the plot is in the name of the comic itself. I did not expect it to get this much recognition, and it's very fun. And I don't know. I don't think it'll get much more. I would be because I don't really know what that looks like. It might mean that What Pumpkin will recognize and be like, oh, cool thing. Or they'd be like, oh, this fucking sucks. You're, like, taunting us. Which, I mean, they're not wrong, but not in a bad way. Like, I'm not doing it to be mean. I like making fun of Homestuck because I love Homestuck. Yeah, okay. Hopefully that answers it. Next question. From Bold with a bunch of exclamation marks. Do you have a technique for making those kick-ass laser panels? Ooh. So, what Bold is probably asking is there is this panel where crap, I forgot the name of the guy. Well, anyways, he's one of the care-pacing guys, and he shoots a laser. Basically what I did was I was watching Space Dandy, and the first episode, and there was this part where a laser I'm sorry, first episode of a season 2. And this guy shot a laser out of a thing, and I was like, you know what? That's pretty cool. I want to use that. So I just went frame by frame and looked at it and referenced it. And that was that. I'm a hack. Yeah. So yeah, my greatest advice for that, and just anything art-wise in general, is look up reference. Just look frame by frame, If you really want to, if you're just practicing and you're not going to show anyone and say it's your work, it doesn't matter if you trace a little, because what you're doing is you're sort of studying the lines yourself. That can be a great way to do it. Obviously, don't trace people's work and then say it's your own, and then, all that shit, because it gets crazy. So don't do any of that. But yeah, reference is very good. It's not cheating, in case, you have the anxiety of that. Okay, let's see here. From May, are there any questions of KGTAC that you regret? Wait. Oops, I'm sorry. I read that completely wrong. Are there any parts of KGTAC that you regret / would want to do differently? And if so, why and how? Great question. I think so. I don't have anything that I regret per se, but I do think I could do the like, the whole R word thing differently. Because I got a lot of shit for that. And usually the people who give me shit don't really understand why I did it in the first place. And, they don't even read the comic further, so they just think I'm being an asshole. Which, I mean, understandable. You get a lot of that. But, I don't know. I think I could have done... Because it was a little forced. I didn't mean for it to be, but we were going fast, and there was a Flash going to be premiering. And I also thought, I wanted it to go fast. Because the idea was showing... I don't know how those problems are, and also they're in the middle of fucking dying. But I think I should have done it a bit better. I could have done it better, and I don't know. I still get a lot of stuff for that. People call me ableist. I also get the fat phobic thing a lot, which I think there was one part in the beginning where Karkat said he was like, "What is that? A fat Terezi?" Which, he's sort of an asshole, and, I was more thinking of myself. After that, though, there are literally no fat jokes. I don't understand where that comes from. Yeah, that's my little vent there. Okay, anyways, this is also from May. Who's your personal favorite character from KGTAC? Nan. Definitely Nan. Nan is my favorite. She's, the most important character in every Mspfa comic I ever do now. She's a part of everything of it now. And it will be revealed how in the future. So, yeah. I love her a lot. This question is just Among Us. Next question. Bingus... Okay. Look. How many of these types of questions are we going to have? All right, let's look at the next one. Here's a regular one. From Hales, favorite Flash you've worked on so far? Definitely Bad Girl 413 Descend. That was my favorite. And it had the best timing, and, every time I know this sounds sort of, pompous, but, I watch that Flash still sometimes, and I'm like, wow, that does give the feeling I got when I watched Jack Ascend, where he's all like, "Urgh!" and everyone's all like, "No!" and it's like, boom, 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 boom. Yeah, that was definitely my favorite. I think, my second favorite is the S Next with Dave. That wasn't actually originally planned, but I was going through some stuff, and I thought, I sort of want to make something that represents that, because Dave is going through the same thing, sort of. Yeah, and then we are shown, well, okay, I don't know if I'm ever going to reveal his true age, so I'll just say it now. Dave is approximately, and this is a big number. This is a big number. I want you guys to really take this in. Dave is approximately 9.1 billion years old. That's a lot of time. I mean, he's not really human anymore, mentally. And we'll definitely see more of how that affected him later in the story. But yeah, so it puts some more perspective into that Flash, because there's a lot more going on than what you see in the surface. Okay, let's look at another. So let's see here. How many questions we got? We got okay. This is number 12 out of 60. Oh my goodness. Okay. When did you get into Homestuck and why? I think I got into Homestuck because I saw someone's icon on Steam was like the open bound Karkat sprite. And then I got into it because it was just cool. It was a fun story, you know. It had everything that I liked in it and more, and it was really fun. My friends at school really liked it, which I didn't know until I got into it. And yeah, and then oh god. In 2014, I went into a convention dressed as Gamzee, and I put the picture of it in the first flash of KGTAC. And so still people will be like, "Oh, this guy doesn't know anything about con goers and stuff. Oh, what is he even doing?" And I'm always like, "Well, I was one of you. I was one of you." So yeah, I don't know, it's very fun. And my dad read it with me. I made him read it, and he also really liked it. So we'll just shoot the shit about Homestuck stuff, and he'll help me with some critiques on my story if I ask him stuff. And yeah, it's really nice. Okay. Anyways, let's see another thing. Have you ever thought about having different Homestuck characters in the current roles of Karkat and Dave, and what effect it might have on the story? Interesting question, No Name. By the way, that's just because they don't have a name. There is actually a person I know named No Name, and that's not who I'm referring to. Let's see here. I think there were some, like, really early versions of KGTAC before I thought out the story back in 2015 that I did on the Mspfa forums, and they, oh god, they were awful. They were absolutely awful. And one of them, I think, had Karkat appear, and then Caliborn instead of Dave. I don't know how the fuck that was supposed to work. I don't know what the deal with that was. I mean, how is that gonna work? You know, that wasn't gonna be funny. That would have just been weird. Yeah. So I don't know. I haven't thought about it too much. The original oh god, the original idea for KGTAC before I thought of any of the story, like years and years ago, or not years and years ago, but was it really was just a comic where they just fucked around at a convention, and then at the very end John appeared and would be like, oh, I'm so sorry guys, I don't know what happened, my powers like sucked you into this weird dimension, and then they go away. And that was just it. That was the idea. I'm so glad I didn't go with that idea. That would have been awful of a story. Okay. Let's look at this. This is from oh god. SAHCon These. Great name. Alright. You've mentioned before that you have a lot of headcanons about Nan. Do you want to talk about some of them? Headcanons. I mean, I guess if they're my headcanons, then they're just, like, true? I don't know. Some of them are, like, things that I just don't want to go into right now, just because I think they're spoilery. But, I don't know. I mean, she's a pretty good person at heart. She's gone through a lot of shit. She had an older sister named Anna, who was very close with her, but she passed away, and Nan saw that as a kid, unfortunately, and that affected a lot of who she is. She was bullied a lot in school by a fucking asshole girl who apparently just had a crush on her. Like, what kind of fucking plot point is that? Like, you know, like, who does that? I don't understand. I've seen that happen in real life. Really weird. And yeah, when she's older, she's going to be the reason Mspfa is canon to KGTAC. Every MSPFA, every fan comic is a canon universe in KGTAC and Homestuck and every other thing I do. And Nan is the reason. And we'll figure that out soon. Or okay, maybe not soon, but you know, at some point. Okay, next question. That first conversation between Nan and Bad Girl was based on a real interaction you had at a convention. What was that interaction? Oh, that. Yeah, so there was this Condis cosplayer messing with, so it was a Rose cosplayer, so it wasn't like a worker or anything. But she was this tall contest cosplayer, and she basically just sort of said similar things. Like she was like, your cosplay is like really poorly done. Like, did you not have enough money? She had like a posse with her, and it was really fucking weird. Um, and yeah, so I based Bad Girl off her because she also, I swear to God, she told the Rose cosplayer to call her by her fucking Tumblr name. Fuck, like, I wish I could remember, but I also don't, because if I did, I probably wouldn't say it anyways, because, like, I don't know, I feel like people would be weird and, like, hassled. Yeah, really weird. Now, I could be completely wrong. No, you know what, I don't want to say anything, because that might lead to, like, possibly who it is. I don't know who it is, you know? I think I saw them in a YouTube video done by someone you guys would know. But I could be, like, completely wrong and misremembering, so I'm not going to even say anything. But yeah, that was very strange. It was a strange thing to see happen. Okay, next question. If Jack and Stacy didn't use weapons reminiscent of Karkat and Dave, what would they use? Unless that was just always the intention. Yeah, that was definitely always the intention. It's sort of hard to think, like what would they have if they didn't meet Dave and Karkat? Because they were always meant to meet Dave and Karkat. I guess I guess they just sort of gravitate towards those weapons anyways if somehow none of this happened. That is to say, if they even thought they needed weapons to begin with. But yeah. Let's see here. From ERC, what keeps you going making KGTAC? I want to finish the story. That's pretty much it. I really like my ideas, and it's the first time I've really like done something big and continue to do it, and I want to keep doing it. It's really fun, and people seem to like it. Some people really hate it, but that, you know, that's okay too. And yeah, it's fun. Try it out. Make some stuff on Mspfa. You know, doesn't have to get really well known or anything. Just have fun with it, and that's what I did. You know, I made this comic with the pretense of I want to make something that if I didn't write it, I would read and become seriously obsessed with. Like seriously obsessed with. Like I would flip the fuck out and be like, "Oh my god!" Ah! And like want to, like, you know, just like I would be obsessed with it. My girlfriend we are paranormally similar in ways that are just too long to explain. But we actually met through my comic because since we're so similar, like seriously similar, I don't want you guys to think this is just like puppy love talk, you know? She got obsessed over the comic and messaged me, and then we hung out and, you know, went from there. And it was hilarious. It was hilarious. So yeah, it just proves my point that this comic would actually be a comic I would be into. Also, oh look, there she is, AK. She just wrote, "Oh God, say hi, hi, hi everybody." Okay. Is Dave 6.9 billion years old? No, he is 9.1. I should have done that, though. That would have been hilarious. Jess Wilmore asks, great name. Not a KGTAC question because I'm evil. I think it's pretty clear that the kids in Homestuck had the beta kids to use as a starting off point, personality-wise. I was wondering what aspects of the beta kids did you change to suit Homestuck, and what were your motives behind changing those traits? I'm especially curious about how PP differs from Jade. Well, the premise was very much like Homestuck until proven otherwise, you know? So it was, the idea was, you know, it starts off a lot like Homestuck, and then further and further as we go, it's very much not Homestuck. I mean, obviously it still is because it will have Spurb and it'll have to do with all that stuff. But, you know, so the idea was the further we get, the more, like, differ from personality the characters are. So Fred is very much like John. Anna is very similar to Rose. DC is similar to Dave, and PP is just nothing at all like Jade. She's just this insane mad scientist, a lot smarter than Jade, and is just insanity incarnate. And yeah, personality-wise, that was pretty much it. And they grow, and I'm thinking more stuff, and yeah, it's fun. I won't talk too much about it, just because, it's a bit of stuff. But yeah. Okay, let's see here. Is there anything cut from KGTAC? That's a good question! Oh my god. You know what? Let me, hold on. Let me pretend that I'm looking at papers here. Okay. You know what? I will show something real quick. I had a flash that was originally going to be, at the end of, the Ascend flash, and, let me show you that for a second. Here, let me turn that on for a second. Let me, pause the music here. Give me 1 second. Yeah. That was that. It was a lot of fun to do, but I ultimately was like, huh, it's not picking up the music anymore. Oh, there it goes. Anyways, yeah, I was like, I don't really want to why am I making another Flash that wasn't planned from the beginning? I'm just, I'm gonna whatever. And then, I used a lot of those assets for later stuff. In this Flash, I literally used some of the mech stuff, which is fun. And yeah, okay. Let's see the next question. Oh god, we're at 21, and it's almost at the end of the panel. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna go fast. I'm really sorry, guys. From Michael, was KGTAC always meant to link with Homestuck? No. I gotta be honest, no, it wasn't. Because KGTAC, I'm pretty sure, was made before Homestuck, and then I made Homestuck, and then I was like, you know what? I want to connect this somehow, and then I did. And I made an Ann and all that stuff. And yeah, that was my thing. I apologize. From Eli Lieberman, probably butchered that last name, I'm so sorry. What do you plan on doing with KGTAC? I plan on continuing the story, I don't know. It's gonna be a ride, and it'll be finished. I do plan on there's gonna be like the final Flash, which is the final in the story. But then right afterwards, there's gonna be this Flash that uses October, the song from the Homestuck albums, and I hope to make it really good because I want it to be like all the fan cosplayers dancing around with all the names and like people who made them, and they're all gonna be dancing around and shit. And yeah, I hope that happens. I mean, it definitely will. It just, I don't know if it'll look as good as it does in my head. Okay, got another dumb question here. Cole, read this Sneed. Thank you so much. You know what? I'm going to just like leave my eyes like this. Okay, just pretend I'm doing this. From Bing, what is the CSS used for the author boxes? I have no clue. You'd have to ask Grant. He made it for me. He runs Mspfa, and he's fucking awesome. and is going to play a huge role in, like, literally every comic. The final comic I plan to do on MSPFA is called The Epilogue, which involves Fred, Nan, Grant, and Andrew Hussey. That's a lot. Oh, and technically, Lil Cal. Technically, his soul. Yeah, okay. Next question. Abby asks, when are these darn kids gonna play Sprobo already? God dang it, Spitz and Bucket. For real, though, who's your favorite character to write for and why? Well, okay, you know what? I'm not gonna answer that first one. I'm so sorry. But I think my favorite character to write for is, like... I don't know. It's hard because I really like writing characters, like, when they're talking to each other, you know? So I guess if I had to choose one from alone, it'd have to be Dave, just because Dave is so, like, he's just so weird, you know? Yeah. So probably Dave. Let's see here. Oh, from Rad, after KGTAC is done, have you considered doing your own completely not related to Homestuck in any way comic? Because KGTAC is a masterpiece. Thank you. And I think you're both artistically capable and have the writing chops to do something completely original. I have a lot of stories planned. And I plan to do it. I'd feel really bad if my Homestuck stuff was like my magnum opus. Like if people remembered me as the KGTAC guy, I would be pissed. So yeah, no, I hope I want to do other stories, and yeah, you know, hopefully, you know, the people who watch this and like the comics I do on MSPFA would enjoy them. But if not, that's cool too. You know, whatever. Bitch. Okay, anyways, from Funny Foam, what inspired you to make KGTAC? Already answered that. I'm so sorry. Next question from Robro. How are you doing? I'm doing really good. I'm doing really good. Thank you. I hope you're doing well wherever you are. Okay. From Bratty Breakfast. I remembered you mentioned once. Wait, Bratty Breakfast? Why does that name sound familiar? Okay, well, anyways, I remember you mentioned once you were gonna have a cold open for KGTAC where there would be some panels where the kids on the media are just like, hey, where'd Karkat go? And then the adventure begins. What made you choose to scrap that intro? Because it completely negates the story, like what's happening. I don't know if I should really talk about this because it's spoilers, but Karkat and Dave are not Karkat from Dave from Homestuck. They're not from anything. They're from KGTAC, if you want to be technical and meta, is they literally come from KGTAC. Karkat is not the idea of Karkat from Homestuck. He is the idea of Karkat from Karkat Goes to Convention. And everything that's being brought up into the convention are ideas. And they're coming from something. They're coming from something weird, and they're going to have to get sucked out by something weird. And so, yeah. I don't know. I forgot the question. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. From Vanilla, I guess this is sort of spoilery if people aren't caught up. But if you can, how did you come up with the idea of Dave living longer than we realized? I just thought it was cool. It also ties into what I want him to represent in the comic, which, you know, you'll see later. I won't go into too much spoiler stuff, but some fucking shit is going to go down soon. And it's going to scare the absolute fuck out of Jack Noir. He's going to feel existential fear for the first time in his whole life, in his whole existence, that nothing could ever bring him to feel that, not even Lord English. It's going to be true fear, and it's going to break the foundation of his reality. And so, hopefully, it'll be pulled off well as I have it in my head. And, yeah. Will we ever see any genuine... Will we see any genuine ancestors in the comic? Adult ancestors, not the scratch ones. Well, I don't know. You tell me. Funny Foam asks, how long have you been a part of MSPFA? That's a good question. I'd have to say maybe like community-wise, 2016, and maybe comic-wise. I don't know. I remember I posted for a bit before I actually before I actually like got into the community. Okay, let's go fast. Let's go fast. Woo! You guys having fun? you guys having fun? Okay. What's what's a cosplayer you'd love to see done for real? Oh, that is such a good question. Um oh man, I don't know. I don't know. Um I mean I guess maybe the bad girl, or maybe like oh man. There's this cosplayer that's gonna I'm sorry, spoilers, but they're gonna use alchemy to make like awesome cosplays that also work as armor. So instead of looking like, quote unquote shitty cosplayers, they're gonna look really fucking good. And this one Terezi cosplayer that was Terezi in the beginning and then Latula, and she was talking to Nan at one point, is gonna be in an awesome Red Glare cosplay made through alchemy. So I guess maybe that she's gonna have like a weird toy gun in the shape of the I almost said fucking dinosaur, dragon, and it's gonna be really cool. Chase designed her. It's really hilarious. Oops, I just started looking at reading papers that weren't there. Okay, let's see here. What's your favorite weird Homestuck fan theory that's nowhere near canon, but in the back of your mind, perhaps especially when writing KGTAC? I don't. Okay, I guess you're asking like if I think about it. I don't know. I don't have too many. I can't think of any. I have made a bunch of weird fan headcanons that explain certain troll lore. Like, there's gonna be this thing. Should I even say this? Spoilers, I guess. Whatever. It's not that big of a deal. There's gonna be this thing where like Karkat asks Stacy, like, he's gonna be like, hey, why do humans write in mad majesty? And she's gonna be like, the fuck is that? And he's gonna explain how like a long time ago, this like the Condes used to like rule Alternia still, but they'd have like land that was ruled by these sort of governments, these small like lord like people called majesties. And there was this one that was like really mad at the Condes for whatever reason, and he was very much like Caligula. And so he made some really shitty cipher of the Alternian language where he just used his own symbols, which then turns out to coincidentally be English. And then he gets killed, and then the signless people used it not because it was a cipher, because it's easily decipherable, but as a fuck you to the Condes. And they call that cipher Mad Majesty. So as retaliation after, killing off the signless shit, the Condes just implemented Mad Majesty, the English font, into like regular troll culture as a sort of like, all right, well, good luck trying to be all cool with it. And yeah. So in troll culture, you typically see stuff in Alternian and Mad Majesty, but it's sort of weird to see everything written in Mad Majesty, which is English, so that's why he asks. That didn't answer your question at all. I'm so sorry. Anyways, from Meat, what do you plan to do after you finish with MSPFA? I just plan to, just do some other shit, write, do art. I really want to become an animator. Editor. I mean, animator would be cool, but I don't know. I want to be an editor. My grandpa was an animator, and my dad was a writer. And so I want to, continue in that family business. That'd be really fun. Yeah, I don't know. From Abby, what were your inspirations for all of the non-legacy characters in KGTAC? Stacy, Jack, Nan, etc. Also, I love you. Keep up the good work, Smooch. Sorry, those are like the only two cool things I have. I think I talked about it once already, but it's it was just fun. I don't know. There were different ideas, and oh god, we have like 5 minutes left on my end. Okay, I'm gonna go fast. Spark notes. All right, let's do this. Backflipson, can you do a backflip? No. From Millhouse, how did you come up with KGTAC, and was its genesis tied to home skillets? Not originally. I came up Avatar. We already did that. Judge, what inspired you to start this comic, and how did you come up with Jack and Stacy? We answered that. I'm so sorry. I love you. Is pee-pee? Question mark. Yes. From Parker, I don't have a question. I already know everything. I just want to say hi. Hi, Cole. Hi. I hate your guts. Kissies. Hi. Hi, Parker. Mom of Joe, how does one be funny? You don't. From Ludicrous Falcon, what would you do if you met the main cast of KGTAC IRL in real life, Jack, Stacy, Karkat, and Dave, like you were at the grocery store or something and just ran into them all of a sudden? Also, no, they're not cosplayers. They're the real deal. They also say something to get your attention, so it's not possible to avoid them in this scenario. I'd probably flip the fuck out. I'd be like, what the hell? It depends on like what they're asking. Like if they know who I am and they're like, help us, blah, 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 I'd be like, oh shit, I don't know, I'm just a greasy Jew in California. I don't know what to tell you. From Malmadian, why a convention? Because it's funny. Next question, is the Skynet bot Skynet? Oh, you're talking about the S&C Lab bot in the Discord. Is the bot dialogues ever going to appear in the comic in a future comic? Yes, and we've already seen it, actually. From Anita Dick and Me. Fuck you. This is a niche question, but in KGTAC's Drew Homestuck, does Dave still have the moment where he cries laughing at his old selfies? I just thought it was a nice humanizing moment, and I wonder if KGTAC Dave had that too. He does. It's similar. It's very similar. It's pretty much the same thing, but similar circumstances. A bit more sad. Maybe I'll go into it later. Luke something. What are people's reactions to the convention outside of the bubble? Are Homestuck fans being insufferable about it online? I need to know. Yes. They are flipping out. Everyone's flipping out. They're trying to study it. They can't do anything to the bubble because it's, fucking First Guardian bubble. You can't do anything. But yeah, they're pretty crazy about it. There's a bunch of SWATs and shit like that. From Michael Torres, do you think Jack and Stacy ever offhandedly mentioned to their parent? Wait, what? Do you think Jack and... Why did I read... do you think Jack and Stacy ever offhandedly mentioned ectobiology to their parents? Since the story is kind of pointing to those two being made through ectobiology, their parents might get all freaked out if this shitty webcomic their kids read has a bunch of characters who arrived on Earth the same way Jack and Stacy would have. Their parents are assholes. They're mostly raised by their grandparents who have a house in Hawaii, and it's specifically an observatory because their grandparents actually found them in craters, and they like to tell the story, and no one really believes them, and Jack and Stacy never thought it was craters, but they sort of thought, oh, it's similar to, like, Homestuck, that's funny, and yeah, that's gonna be a completely different thing, and they live at an observatory because the grandparents always wanted to see if they could find another baby, so years and years from now, Jack and Stacy might use that observatory to find their children! Ecto-children, baby! From Mike, are there any major departures in history between our world and the world KGTAC takes place in? No, not at all. Mom Doer 9000. I'm doing your mom right now, nerd. Thank you. Phoebe. I think I saw a ghost. Mill. How do you think you'd fare if you were trapped in the convention as all of KGTAC was happening? What would your strategy be? Probably this. I would probably hide in a box, pretend I'm writing all this as a comic, and then, like, comfort myself by pretending I'm asking questions to a fake audience about my comic. How long did it take to actually start KGTAC? Like, from idea to full execution? Well, I always had the idea in my head, and I planned it, and then one night I was talking to my friends, Radical Dude and Shark Alien, and they were just like, you should just do it. And I was like, okay. So we just made some assets that night. I made a flash, and then I just made the first update that night. From Foam, how did you come up with the names of Stacy and Jack? They were pretty random, but I wanted Stacy's to have a 6-letter scheme and Jack to have a 4-letter scheme, and they have a 6-letter last name that I have not revealed yet, mainly because I haven't figured it out. But that means that that Stacy's fits a 6-6 theme, and Jack fits a 4-6 theme. So it's kid available and troll. From Anna, why is your girlfriend, in parentheses Anna, so awesome? I don't know. It's bizarre. From Chow Donut, how are we going to see or hear of Jack and Stacy's class specs in the comic, or is it not going to happen since this isn't Spurb? We're not going to see the specifics, but they are time and space, bare minimum. Sort of why Dave had that weird monologue to Jack, that Jack was just sort of like, okay. If you want to know the specific class specs, though, because it ties into their characters, Jack is a Knight of Space, which is interesting. So if he was in a Spurb session, he would be able to do his frog breeding by himself. And Stacy is a Seer of Time, which we've seen some things of that. And Jack is a Prospect player, and Stacy's a Durst player. What was your biggest inspiration for KGTAC? I thought it'd be funny. That's about it. Are you winning, son? No. And the final question, is KGTAC connected to Homeskill? If so, in what way? Love your comic, by the way. Smiley face. Thank you. It is connected, and I think I already talked about it, but it is. And you'll just have to find out, unless you already watched this stream. Anyways, that was fun. You know, we just answered some questions. That was about it. I did some silly stuff like that. I hope you had fun watching. If not, I'm sorry. And yeah, guys, thank you so much. I want to thank you guys so much for the love and support for this comic. It's so fun to make, and it's so silly, and it's a whole thing. And yeah, thank you guys so much for the love and support. Have fun at SAHCon. It's been so fun. I'm gonna mess around in the VR convention with Anna for a while, maybe. And so yeah, if you guys are watching panels, watch those panels. If you're gonna be in there, I'll see you there. Yeah, thank you guys so much. Seriously, this has been so fun, and I love you all so much. And yeah, we're getting close to 2,000 favorites, baby! Ah! Let's get there. Or not. I don't really care. Alright. Bye! Thank you so much! Ah! Ah! Oh my god!